London is a beautiful city full of history that people oftentimes forget when they are thinking of travel destinations. The reason I believe it is a city that is worth knowing about is for 5 reasons. For one, the history that is preserved in the buildings there. Second, the relationship that they've had with the United States. Third, the similarities that they share with the United States. Fourth, the beauty that they have in all 4 seasons. And 5, the landmarks and attractions that they have there. The history, like I said, the first reason is the history and the buildings and museums that they have there. The Tower of London is a great example of that. It was used as a prison from 1100 to the 1950s. As you can imagine, many prisoners stayed there during that time. It was also used as a royal residence during that time as well. It was oftentimes besieged, and it was a very important place to show the control over the country. The crown jewels is also in the same area as the Tower of London. They have showcased crowns and exquisite jewels that the Queen still wears to this date. The Museum of London homepage is a good reference to see what they have in the museums while you're going to be there. Second is the history that they share with the United States. The American Revolution was when the colonies split from Britain. Many of the buildings that were there during that time are still there today, and they're a great reference for information of what was going on during that time. The Library of Congress also has documents from back when our relationship during that time, as well as modern day. They went from being our enemy to our ally. Third is the similarities that we have with Britain. The first major similarity is that we speak the same language. This allows us to make better connections with the people there, as well as have better relationships with the people. When traveling to a foreign country, the language barrier is often very great, and it's hard to make relationships with the people there when you don't speak the same language. The Linguistic Society of America did a study saying that the language you speak affects the way that you think. So since we speak the same language as the people living there, we are probably going to think closer to the way they think. Fourth is that it is beautiful in all 4 seasons. They offer many outdoor activities. On TripAdvisor, you can find a list and rank of these activities that you can partake in, but the 2 most popular are river and bike tours. A river tour is when you get a guide and you get on a boat and you get to travel down the river and see many of the famous landmarks and attractions that London has to offer. A bike tour, you see most of the same attractions, you just get to travel by bike. The 5th is the most popular, the attractions that they have there. Just to name a few, is the London Eye, Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, Buckingham Palace, and the St. Paul's Cathedral. The London Eye is a large Ferris wheel that when you get to the top, you can see just a beautiful view of the city and see many of these famous landmarks. Big Ben is a large clock that is oftentimes photographed when you see pictures of London, as well as Westminster Abbey. Buckingham Palace is home to the Queen and many royals when they travel there, so that is oftentimes a very famous and popular travel spot when you're going to London, as well as St. Paul's Cathedral. In conclusion, an attribute that makes a city worth going to me, is having a wide variety of activities. People of all sorts travel there, and they all have something to do that they would enjoy. So that's it. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Have you ever been to London?
I have. I was able to go for my senior trip. It is a beautiful place.
What is your favorite attraction there?
My favorite attraction was Crown Jewels. It was awesome to see the crowns and all the pretty diamonds that they had there. Any more questions?
Well, one of the things that I've always heard is really neat about in London is the changing of the guard. Did you get to see that when you were visiting London?
I did get to see the changing of the guard. It was really cool, and I thought it was really different that when you saw the palace guards, they don't make eye contact with you and they do not smile. They're very focused in their job, and that's really unique to that place. Anything else?
No.
Thank you.